on your podcast, right?
You were, yes.
And it was fun.
It was very enlightening.
And then we decided to take our relationship further.
Yes, which is a first for me. Usually I just cut it off very soon.
But now I have your brain.
Wow.
And so I know more about you than most people have ever known about you.
That's very intimate and alarming and jarring. This is a complete turning point for me.
I hope so.
Yes.
First time I saw my brain, it changed my life in such a big way. Because I never had a relationship with my brain. I mean, it's the most important part of you, controls everything,
right.
How you think, how you feel, how you act, how you get along with other people. But nobody cares about their brain because you can't see it. And once I saw it and I realized, that's not healthy. Could I make it better? And the answer is yes. And that's the hope. So I tell people, whatever we see on your scan, it's good news because you have what you have. If we can uncover it and then develop a plan to make it better, well, how cool is that?
It's amazing.
So I read your history. I looked at your scans. I looked at the testing you did. So I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. But I want to hear from you.
Okay.
What's your goal? What can I do that would serve you?
I think the thing that reoccurs the most and jumps out to me the most is attention issues my whole life. Like I was the kid in high school that excelled, but I didn't necessarily pay attention. I was always all over the place. I had a permanent desk in the hallway because I drove the teachers so nuts. Because I was more focused on entertaining and just saying whatever came to my brain without any consideration if I should. So for me, and I know like that can be a charming characteristic and I'm very adaptive, you know, but for me, the focus and the attention have been a consistent issue for me. I want to be someone who's able to complete tasks, and I can, but not without first Swiffering the kitchen, eating half the sandwich, going back and checking my text message, walking out to the front to rake the yard, and I've done 1,000 things, and then I never finish the thing that I set off to do. And before I had become introduced to you, I didn't even consider what you mentioned before, a relationship with my brain. That was never something I even considered. Like you said, you don't see it, so you don't think about it, which is like the youngest child syndrome, which I am. So I don't know.
Out of how many?
4 from 2 different marriages.
And you have dementia in your family.
I do.
And you don't want it.
I would not like that house guest up here whatsoever. You don't pay rent and you make me forget everything? No, thank you. Rude.
And you stress the people you love.
Yes, you do. And you cost a lot of money to take care of.
When I went through your history, long-standing issues with focus, easily distracted, problems with comprehension, planning is hard, anxiety, pretty defiant as a teenager. You're currently taking ashwagandha. We're big fans of ashwagandha. Not so much with marijuana and alcohol.
I know it's going to be a point of contention for us. I'm open, Doc. I'm open. I'm an open book.
It's just a thing, and my job isn't to tell you what to do. Think of me like your coach.
I like
someone
that.
who cares about you, who gives you options.
Okay.
Because ultimately, I realized a long time ago, I actually have trouble controlling myself. So being able to control other people is not my thing.
Okay.
When you answered our checklist, pretty clearly you have ADD.
Why am I laughing?
Because you
It's
know
not
it.
funny. I do know it.
You know
I
it.
do know it.
You actually, your opening monologue with me was the classic way to describe ADD. The desk out in the hallway. The percentage of people have ADD that have desks in the hallway. Very high.
I'm not alone.
PFC means prefrontal cortex.
Okay.
How you answered the questions, to me, would predict you have low activity there in your scan, which we're going to see.
Okay.
Now, whether or not that's true, that you have to scan somebody, is we always say around here, how do you know unless you look, right? We could guess, but why would we guess if we could actually look?
Right.
So the image on the left looks at the outside surface. The image on the top left, we're looking underneath the brain. So the top is the front part of the brain, the bottom's the back. The bottom right, we're looking down from the top, front, back. The other views, we're just looking at it from the side.
Okay.
The red, white, and blue ones, blue is average activity. Red is the top 15%, so it's busy. White is the top 8%, so it's like really active. And it should be here in your cerebellum because this is the part of the brain involved in processing speed, and it's really important.
Okay.
It's 10% of the brain's volume, half the brain's neurons.
Damn.
So it's like, and this is why coordination exercises are so important.
I'm gonna guess beer pong isn't one of them. Okay, I'm just checking. I'm just making sure I'm asking for America.
Okay, here's your brain. And lots of it.
This
works.
is my brain? This is, right, did you switch it already?
I did.
Why does the top one look like a smiley face?
So, do you see the holes?
What
here?
are those?
Your frontal lobes are sleepy.
Oh my God.
So this is the break in your brain. This is the part of your brain that goes, should you say this? Should you do this?
Wow.
Before you say or do it.
So that's sleepy.
It's sleepy.
Okay.
It's often on vacation.
I wish I was. Gotta be honest.
And so we want to make that healthier. And then you see how it's bumpy?
Yeah, what's the bumps? It looks like an aerial view of Arizona.
That's toxicity.
Like emotional?
No, physical.
Mm.
It's alcohol, marijuana.
The top left, the prefrontal there, why does it look like half of it is missing compared to the healthy one? Is that because it's
It's
that much
because
asleep?
it's been sleeping.
Wow. I do love naps, but looks like my brain's taking a permanent one.
It's not what we want. If what we want is here, and what we have is here, you see it's bumpy.
It's so
And-
bumpy and there's like holes right through
And
it.
these holes are not good because they're your forethought holes. Or that's the area of forethought. And then the bumpiness here. And this is why when we talk about alcohol and marijuana, and I'm going to show you why you do those things, but I wonder if there's something better we can do that will make your brain look younger
Acid. No.
rather than older.
Yes, sir.
So if you do everything I asked you to do, 6 months from now, your brain can look like that. We can make your brain better,
The holes are gone.
healthier,
Plumper.
plumper.
Not so much of an aerial view of a desert.
So the areas with the holes are not dead, but they're struggling.
Could they, if I continued on the path I'm on, is there a point of no return?
So if you keep doing what you're doing, say you leave here and you go, Dr. Raymond's an idiot. Half of his colleagues think he's an idiot anyways. I agree with that.
I didn't say that.
This is what your brain is going to look like
Oh.
10 years from now.
Oh. Oh my God, it's a, I almost swore, it's a
But
pumpkin.
this is really important because you have Alzheimer's disease in your family.
I do.
This is what Alzheimer's disease looks
Oh
like.
my God. That gives me so much anxiety.
Some
That's
anxiety is
10
good.
years?
That you're not going to be anywhere near your potential.
That looks like a horror movie set.
And when people have brains like this, their lives are horror movies.
I would imagine.
With sadness and depression and bad decisions and...
That's making my palms sweat.
Well, we have a choice, right? Your future has a choice. It can go to the healthy brain, where you have more control over your life and the outcome of your life, or it can go to the dark place, where you have less control. And I don't know about you, but I love my 4 kids. I never want to live with them. I never want to be a burden to them, and I don't want them making my decisions.
Yep.
I want to make my decisions,
Yep.
which means I have to make good ones now. So here's your cerebellum, and it's sleepy. So if we go back to healthy, which is here, see how busy and active this is back here.
Right.
Yours.
Oh my God.
Is sleepy. So one of...
There's no white spots in mine. There's like 2. They're like
Yeah,
broken
no,
teeth.
they're sort of here in the anxiety centers. So I see why you're anxious. But if I fix your frontal lobes, they'll calm down the anxiety centers. So there's always this dance between your emotional brain and your thoughtful brain. And when your thoughtful brain is sleepy, your emotional brain can take over. Did we talk about the dragons?
We did talk about the dragons, but please talk about them more.
So the dragons breathe fire on your emotional brain. Well, the dragon tamer is the front part of your brain.
Got it.
And so if the dragon tamer is weak, the dragons take over and you're more likely to struggle.
How will this affect me as a comedian? Like, my gut reaction is all this gets balanced and fixed. And I'm saying it like this because in my mind, I think we're fixing my brain, but are we altering my skill as a comedian? What if my broken brain is the thing that makes me funny?
It's going to make you better.
Okay.
I have a lot of experience with this. With my creative people, they become more creative.
Okay.
Because they finish things.
Oh, yeah.
Your business, right? Because you're also the CEO of your company. Well, the CEO in your head is sort of off on vacation. If you follow through better, if you finish things better, you'll still be able to look at things in an unusual way, right? That's what makes you funny.
Right.
But you'll be able to follow through.
Okay.
So you'll be a more consistent performer. And the business part you'll be better at. So we'll just balance it, but I can guarantee you over time, with a healthier brain, your life will be happier.
Okay.
Now, the comedy might not be as dark.
Well, having a brighter outlook, would be something that may help me sleep a little bit better at night. So I'm not as afraid to not have so many dark thoughts. Although I still think a part of me will have, my brain will keep a cute little cache for the dark thoughts, just like a little pocket for me to pull out of for stage, maybe.
It's a question a lot of people ask, and so then they don't get help.
Right.
And that's not a good thing.
I'm not afraid of having a better brain. I just wondered if that jack-o'-lantern is what keeps me the silly, funny person. I mean, literally, the activity zone looks like a jack-o'-lantern. The whole thing looks like a Halloween decoration. It needs to look like an expensive piece of, like a gem, not like a Halloween decor you find at some arts and crafts shop. So I'm excited to
Our goal is to get it healthier.
yeah, make it look rich.